Yo, what's going on, guys? What is up? Boy, oh boy, what a day. We got a humdinger here tonight. We're going to touch on a few things. We got Kenny G, Department of Justice, Twitter nonsense, and a shit show that's going on over there, and everybody arguing about holding, selling, not doing. Come on. Stop. So I'm going to give you my opinion on that and what I have been doing that I don't go out and advertise. I don't go advertise my positions. I don't do this, that, the other thing. I'm sure most of you know. As I tweeted last night, I sent out a tweet that showed my original buy-in from AMC back in November 4th or 5th of 2020 when the stock was $2.34. So I've been around a while. We've all been around a while. We've all watched this. Remember, you guys, whether it's Citadel, hedge funds, whatever, these guys are looking at every single thing we do, whether it's a Twitter space call, whether it's a Reddit post, Twitter post, whatever, YouTube comments. They know. Okay? They know. They've got a lot more money than all of us, and they have a lot to lose, obviously, right? So, yeah, we're going to keep this video good. We got some exciting stuff going on. More 13Fs piling in. We got Nancy Pelosi's old man piling into AMC. So good shit, other than the price of her stock today. But really, who gives a rat's ass? Shout out to Antonio Martinez for sharing this Kenny G speaking live stream. And guess what he's going to talk about right here? Let's take a quick listen here, ladies and gentlemen.
There's a connection, and you mentioned it, between crypto and meme stocks. And boy, do you know about meme stocks, because you have been on the other end of a meme barrage, if you will, on Twitter and elsewhere over what happened with GameStop and what happened with AMC and whatnot. And I was curious if you've ever talked to a young person who has a view that you're in the middle of this. There's this issue of payment for order flow, which people have lots of debates about whether they're getting, quote, best execution, or whether you are either front-running them or getting they're not.
Let me interrupt this really quickly. Why is this dickhead smirking? Can anybody answer me that? We already know the answer, but still, what a little dickhead.
Getting the best execution because you're skimming a penny off and you're giving that penny to Robinhood. What do you say to them?
Well, I mean, I must live in a pretty interesting echo chamber, because most of the 20-year-olds that I know are really grateful for the current market structure in America. I mean, they make a point that when I go to trade, I can trade far cheaper on Robinhood or on Schwab's platform or Fidelity or E-Trade than I can trade at the New York Stock Exchange. I mean, they love this. I mean, let's be clear. I got to dinner with a friend. He's like, look, there were 100 shares offered, and I bought 5,000, and not only did I get a price better than the offer, I got price improvement. You don't get that in an exchange-based world. You get that in today's wholesale market that the SEC structured roughly 25 years ago with the introduction of regulation NMS. So most of the people that I deal with love the fact that as a retail investor, you basically trade instantaneously and you get a better price than you get on exchange. They love that. Now, the whole GameStop conspiracy theory, I mean, that's come and gone. It was fascinating to be in the middle of that conspiracy.
Did he really just say that? It's come and gone? Sir, you and I both know it hasn't even started yet. And that's GameStop we're talking about.
Like, for you?
This is like a bad comedy joke. I mean, it's like a Saturday Night Live skit.
Do you have a Twitter account? Do you follow this?
I do not have a Twitter account.
Does somebody send you this stuff? How does it work in your office?
People come down and just tell me what's going on.
But it persists to this day.
I mean, it resurged a few weeks ago and then died back off.
What do you think Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, is going to do when it comes to payment for order flow?
I don't know. I don't know. But here's what I do know. The United States has the most efficient equity market in the world. And the SEC unleashed competition with rule NMS, and then it's been a huge windfall for all investors, pension plans.
Okay, that's enough of that. I'll share this, you guys. It's about 35 minutes long. The first 10 minutes or so was somebody else talking, And then Kenny G came in for a good 22, 25 minutes or whatever. But that's almost comical. Both smirking, laughing about it, and that's a thing of the past, basically, is what he's saying. No, sir. Sir, you are sadly mistaken. There's a look at your stock today, folks. Nothing to see really there. Same old shit. This really quickly here. Remember we touched on this on Monday, Tuesday, yesterday, whatever. This was 40, 50,000 in the money, right? Let's go down to here. 9,300 in the money and almost 200,000 out of the money. Now, I want to touch on one thing here, and I don't like sharing what I do as my position, how long I'm holding, when I'm going to sell, what's a price target. I've never talked on any of that stuff, right? But today, this whole thing, somebody apparently tweeted something out about selling, buying back in lower, and it's caused a whole shitstorm of a frenzy, right? And what nobody is talking about is the simple fact that if you want to make money on the way down, we all know, and a lot of these GameStop guys do a ton of it, right? And I have done it myself. Buy puts. Buy puts on the goddamn thing when you think it's going to go down. Hedge your position, right? I have done it probably 8-10 times, and I have bought roughly probably 800 to 900 call options on AMC, and that's no exaggeration. I was buying the lottery tickets months before we ran up to 72, and I've also bought puts. I am not going to give Citadel my money and just watch all of these right here, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of these just vanish into basically Citadel's pocket, right? I want my puts more than anything to expire worthless, right? I'm not betting against the stop. I'm hedging my position in here. So the whole thing, I don't know why nobody's talking about that. I'm sure I'm not the only one that does that in AMC. A gazillion GME guys do it, right? We know what this stock is going to do. So the whole thing was selling shares and buying back in. People can do whatever they want. It's their money. It's their money. If you want to buy and hold AMC, I still have shares from the very beginning of time. And I have done nothing but add to my position. And I continue to buy call options. In the beginning, the first 4 or 5 months of this, I had a ton that expired worthless. I'm talking hundreds. Those $20, and especially when this thing was $9, $10, $11, that $40 strike price was basically free. And I was about 2 weeks behind in me timing. Like if I would have bought the 40 or even the 20s, I was buying 20s, 25s, 30s, whatever I was buying, right? Way out of the money. And I was one of these victims over here for months, right? But if I would have bought those at the right timing and not give up and be more conservative in my plays, I made $1 gazillion off of buying calls. I had in the money calls on AMC when this thing ran up to 72, if that gives you any idea, and I had a ton of them. So yeah, the FUD has got to stop with all of this. This whole Twitter shit show over there is just, it's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. I'm not calling anybody out. I don't know half the people that are doing this, but it's just like a massive shitstorm of shit. It really honestly is. There's no need for it. If you're going to buy and hold the stock, you've been here since day one, you're going to hold the damn stock, right? It's as simple as that. So let's get on to some good shit. Well, not so good, but good for us, I guess. Inflation, look at this. We jumped, remember, 5.4, 5.4, 5.3, 5.4. We've been watching this since June, basically, and it's been pretty steady. That's an awful big jump today. The report came out for October, 6.2%. So hold your horsies, right? Oh, look at this. And then Elon, the news of the day. What is he doing? I want to know what he's doing. But he dumped a shitload of shares, obviously, on the 8th here. Here's the prices he dumped them at, blah, 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 right? I don't know. I don't know what to think of this whole Elon thing. Sure, I get the whole tax thing and the blah, blah, blahs, but this guy's a genius, right? But I really like this tweet that was blasted out. Shout out to RJ, AMC to Mars. Here's my theory on Elon Musk. Sells 10% of what he promised he would. He buys enough for AMC, GME for Moasakura. He makes millions of the middle class. Apes serious money. Hero status forever. Apes love him. Apes reinvent Tesla and buy his dope cars in masses. Could you imagine? I mean, this is a stretch to say the least, right? But it's something Elon would do. By in no means am I taking this seriously. It's a great idea, but Elon's a genius. But could you imagine? I mean, that stock is 11,050 right now, whatever it took the hit at. But still, that stock, everyone knows, is not worth nothing compared to what the company does, the profits, the money, and all of that stuff. It's because of Elon frickin' Musk, which is great. It's super cool. But still, that's pretty cool to think about, right? He would have, oh my God, Tesla would go to $10,000 a share, right? This was good too. I don't want to keep going here, you guys. I'm going to pop this Twitter link in here. ApparentlyExempt. I just seen this today. Somebody retweeted it, so I went over to these dudes here. This website is outstanding. What is apparently exempt, blah, blah, blah. What is short sale? This is a super cool website. These guys put together a 7-part tweet here. I'll fire this tweet in here, and then you can also click their website right there. Super cool. So definitely you guys go through that. I don't want to keep going. We're already 11 minutes into this madness, right? So, yeah, super cool. I'll pop both of those in there. Links, that is. Keep piling in. Then you got Pelosi herself's husband up top there. Shares and shares and shares. Look at this crap, you guys. 1110 more are piling in here. New positions. California has joined the employee retirement. Jesus, man. Wow. What were we at last night? Let's go to my favorite part. 546. So 8 more positions showed up today. 480 long. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's outstanding. This has been floated around all day. How in God's green earth we missed this? This was done by the Department of Justice, straight from their website here. We're going to play 2 minutes of this. Now, I think this is bullish as all get up. This gal here, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil the whole 21 minutes. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. 1,000,000% go watch this. This gives you, this chick, very well spoken, 21 minutes. She's laying everything out here. It's not direct. A lot of people go, oh, Citadel, Kenny's going to jail. It's not. There's little hints of things in here. The one thing that I listened to that I took from this was she mentioned a security breach at a company, right? So, Robinhood, who's attached with Robinhood, Citadel, so on. But let's listen to just a couple minutes. If you guys have not watched this thing, I want to play just this part of this, and then we'll get the hell out of Dodge.
The other issues we will review and tell you how we'll go about conducting that review. The first area we will examine is how to account for companies who have a documented history of repeated corporate wrongdoing. In certain cases, the department sees the same company become the subject of multiple investigations, not just in the same office or section, but in multiple sections and divisions across the department. For example, a company might have an antitrust investigation 1 year, a tax investigation the next year, and a sanctions investigation 2 years after that. Because I'm concerned about this kind of repeat offender, I asked my office to start looking at the data on corporate resolutions. What we saw is that recently somewhere between 10% and 20% of all significant corporate criminal resolutions involve companies who have previously entered a resolution with the department. So, we need to consider whether and how to differently account for companies that become the focus of repeated DOJ investigations. One immediate area for consideration is whether pretrial diversion, NPAs, and DPAs is appropriate for certain recidivist companies. Corporate recidivism undermines the purpose of pretrial diversion, which is, after all, to give a break to corporations in exchange for their promise to fix what ails them, as well as to recognize a company's cooperation. Some have questioned whether pretrial diversion is appropriate for any company who has benefited previously from such an arrangement. Does the opportunity to receive multiple NPAs and DPAs instill a sense among corporations that these resolutions and the attendant fines are just the cost of doing business? Are there other approaches that can promote cultural and institutional changes that will have a greater impact on deterring misconduct? These are some of the questions we'll be studying in the coming months. Another issue we'll be studying is whether companies under the terms of an NPA or DPA take those obligations seriously enough. I want to be very clear. We have no tolerance for companies that take advantage of pretrial diversion by going on to continue to commit crimes, particularly if they then compound their wrongdoing by knowingly hiding it from the government. Frankly, it's hard for me to think of a more outrageous set of behaviors by a company that has entered into a DPA or NPA in the first place. We will hold accountable any company that breaches the terms of its DPA or NPA. DPAs and NPAs are not a free pass, and there will be serious consequences for violating their terms. Recently, 2 different multinational corporations separately announced that each had received a breach notification from the Justice Department. This is obviously not a step we take lightly, but we will do so where necessary and appropriate. These issues implicate the work of many different parts of the department, so this review will need to consult a range of stakeholders.
Sound familiar, guys? That whole 21 minutes is just about everything we've been touching on for 10 months in there. So that's nice to see from the DOJ. I mean, really is. But I watched it twice today, and I played a little bit here. But watch that whole thing. It's absolutely outstanding. So we'll fire that in there. We'll fire that other Twitter in there, ApparentlyExempt, and their website is outstanding as well. Kenny G, you're not fooling anybody, dude. Not a soul. Okay, guys, let's see what tomorrow brings. What do we got? What's tomorrow? Thursday. So we got 2 more trading days. We know what in the hell happened again today, right? Jeez. Yeah. Here, look at this. Oh, when was the 2 o'clock? Right here. Right there at earnings, guys. 2 o'clock. What happened ever since? Earnings are badass. Take everything to the right of that line. Yeah. Adds up, doesn't it? Jesus. Okay, guys. Love y'all. Peace.